Begin. Om. Sahana Bhavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Janmadhyasya yatonvayaditaratascha artheshvabhignaswarat tene brahmahridaya adikavaye muhyanti yatsurayah tejo varimridam yatha vinimayo yatra trisargo mrisha dhamna svena sada nirastakuhakam Satyam param dhimahi kasmai yena vibhasito yamatulo jnana pradipah pura tadrupena cha naradaya munaye krishnaya tadrupina yogindraya tadatmanaya bhagavatrataya karunyata tatshuddham vimalam vishokamamritam Satyam param dhimahi dharmam pronjita kaitavotra paramo nirmatsaranam satam vedyam vastavamatra vastu shivadam tapatrayonmoolanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Kim va parai Ishvaraha Satyo Hridya Varudyate Trakritibihi Shushrushubistakshanat Nigamakalpataror Galitam Phalam Shukhamukhad Amritadrava Sanyutam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Haraye Paramatmane Pranatah Kleshanashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Satyavratam Satyaparam Trisatyam Satyasya yonim nihitam cha satye Satyasya satyam rita satyanetram Satyatmakam tvam sharanam prapanna नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः Okay. We are in the 10th canto. And 10th canto is in Srimad Bhagavatam, they say, right? Every canto is one part of Krishna. So do we remember what part of Krishna is the 10th canto? The body part. Or you can also guess. What could it be? Yeah, yes, Jayamalaji. It's the face. Yeah.
Yeah, look at this.
Vadanam Maduram, no? It's the face of Krishna. And few Bhagavatas, they say the Rasa Krida is it the eyes or the lips? I don't know. Smile. I don't know. Okay. So we were in Putana Moksha. We share. Yes. So all the Leelas, until Vrindavan, until Krishna moves to Mathura, or maybe we can, yes, until Krishna moves to Mathura. In Vrindavan, so many asuras, right? He gives moksha. Everything is called moksha. It is not called vada. It's only from Kamsa, it's called vada. So all these are called Madhura Leelas. Very sweet. But once he moves to Dwaraka, all those are called Aishwarya Leelas. They are more majestic, maybe. Yeah, so Jarasandha, all those. Of course, Krishna doesn't do it directly, but Shishupala, so many things are there. No? So all those are Dantavakra. There are many Vadas that he does later. This 10th chapter we will see. So these all are moksha. So Putana moksha. We were looking at that. Leave me. Munja munja. That particular. I don't know. Let's see if that. Deliverance of Putana. I think the 11th verse comes. Yes. She is really, leave me. She shouts, enough of it. Recently, last week, one very known, he was a great devotee, one very known relative. Okay, a far relative, but we know him from very childhood. So he left his body last week. So he was nearly, I don't know the exact age, but he was old, out of old age only. Yeah. So his sister, she was telling that, last all that, nothing much, he had some, of course, some ailments he's been having, something or the other. And the last day before leaving, she was saying, we did not even expect that he would drop his body. He was sitting and he was not very comfortable in the morning. So I asked him if he will drink coffee or have dosa. So he told her, Porum means, that's what, Munja, enough. Ellam porum. This was the last, which means Ella means everything enough. So this is the last word he had uttered, and then he had just lied down and he passed away very peacefully. This is what she told. I was remembering this, how beautiful. And the life, he was a great devotee, Sundarakanda, Hanuman Upasaka, and he was a bachelor with so much of brahmacharya, and he had served his family so much. She is my sister-in-law, meaning she's much elder, her elder brother, and the life shows that kind of. So that's what Bhagavatam is telling us, right? It's the grand way to die. They get ready, and they leave the body. Yeah. So that is the beauty. It was very touching when she told that. So peacefully he said, "Porum illam porum" was the last he uttered. So leave me. Putana is also doing it. Of course, we will start with, she was in great pain and all her vitals were tortured when he sucked at her breast. She began to scream. Her purpose was all forgotten. Leave me, she kept on saying, and she tried to pluck her breast away from the mouth of the child, but it was of no avail. She shrieked in agony, and the earth, the sky, even the planets shook in response. So loud was her pain-filled voice. People thought that there was a thunderbolt which had fallen on earth somewhere. With the last cry of agony, Putana lost her life. Her beautiful form was all gone. She fell down dead, and she looked like a great Vritra after he had fallen a victim to Indra's Vajra. When she fell, trees around her to the extent of 6 kroshas fell like pieces of twigs. So she was so huge. People rushed to the spot where the noise came from and found this mountain of a woman fallen on the ground. They stood amazed, and suddenly they saw Nanda's little son playing on her immense breast. They rushed towards him and carried him away from there. That Narayaniam verse, it says like a small blue sapphire on a great mountain. That is how Bhattadri has seen it, and he describes it. They see in their Bhavaloka what comes, that is what they write. That is why even today that Bhava is passed on for the one who is relishing it, right? So this is so here, how as a result of this, it tormented even while falling down. The boy fearless, the crowd picked him up and alarmed as they were. Yes. So the next one. People rushed to the spot. They stood amazed and suddenly saw. They rushed towards him and carried him away from there. Yashoda and Rohini then performed so many of the rites which are meant to protect a child from evil, and they all stood around the form of the dead Putana. Yashoda hurried inside with the child, and having fed him at her breast, she put him to sleep and covered him with a piece of silk. Like a typical. This is also Krishna Leela only. Yeah, it is not that, how is it that they see and yet they are looking at the child like a child? That is Maya. That is Krishna glory. That he puts that cover of Maya, and all Gopikas, Yashoda, they are like, okay, now the child is safe, right? And here in Bhagavatam it is written, with all the Gopucha, in all the Yadavas, they would take out the drishti using the tail of the cow, it seems. Gopucha, with that and with the urine, cow urine, they would purify them. And then that is how they do all those rituals, and then they feel comfortable. Okay, the child is safe. And Yashoda feeds the child, and so it's a month-old baby maybe, or even less days old baby, right? She put him to sleep and covered him with a piece of silk. Nanda, so from Mathura, he's coming back, arrived just then from Mathura. That's what Vasudeva had warned him, right? And this is what he hears now. And he was taken aback at the scene which met his eyes. He told everyone, indeed, my friend Vasudeva has divine gifts, or else how could he know that there would be danger here? He told that evil omens would be seen in Gokula and asked me to hurry home. It took all the Gopas a very long time to move the body of Putana. They had to cut her up like they would logs of wood, and piling them all, they set fire to it. There was a great conflagration, and the sky was lit up by the glow from the fire. When the body was burning, people around were amazed at something unusual. There arose from her burning body the perfume of sandalwood and divine scents. No one could explain it. What a beauty, Just because see, another connection is, in Ramana Bhagwan's Hridaya Vidya, okay, that is the Ramana Bhagwan's main Upadesha is the Hridaya Vidya, right? Many of us know, so I'm just going ahead with so basically, what it said is this Jiva Bhava, this Ahankara, this Ahamvritti, when it is searched for, it is not found. And what is there is Purna. This is what Bhagavan says, right? And Purna, where Purna is, That is Hridaya. So he says for a yogic method, in the meditation, as a meditation, if we have to, meditate, we say, meditate on the Lord. How do we meditate? Okay, meditate in his form, but when the thoughts arise, when so many things arise, again, focus on the source from where it arises. This is one yogic meditation that Bhagavan suggests. So he says, focus on the heart, which is in the right side, in the chest. He says not to the left, he says the right. The spiritual heart is in the right. Even the Narayana Suktam says that, Bhagwan is there in the lotus of the heart, in an inverted lotus. He is there. It is something, it comes. So Narayana is there in the inverted lotus in the heart. When in Bhagavad Gita it comes, right? Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hrideshe Arjuna Tishtati. So that Hridayam is not this pumping heart. We will get to know as the, but initially to focus, Bhagavan says don't try to focus on the, Bhrumadhya. All that is very strenuous. It is, very easy is, and we all intuitively, always Swami says, we all intuitively know that it is that, here, that the feeling of I arises from somewhere here. That's why when somebody who asks, who is Bala? I am Bala, right? We don't touch the stomach and say, I am Bala. We don't, the hand is down, right? We have to take the hand. So Swami very nicely says, you have to take the hand 180 degrees, so much of effort, and then say, yes, I am Bala. Somewhere we intuitive, I think it's world over, everybody does that, right? It's here, it's me. So intuitively we know that, maybe. So here, what Bhagavan has done is taken out her Jiva Bhava, sucked it out completely. If Bhagavan touches only, someone gets moksha. Bhagavan has put his mouth in her chest, sucked out her Jiva Bhava, given moksha. No more rebirth thoughts. And in the this it will come. What kind of status she gets, it will come later. So that is why all these, the body, the perfume of sandalwood, divine sense, and all that is coming when it is burnt. Putana, who was an Asuri, was killed by the Lord. He had drunk of her breast, and all her sins had been sucked out of her. She had become purified since she had touched the Lord, and he had touched her with his lips. Fortunate Putana, when the grace of the Lord is given to a woman who wanted to feed him with poison. What then of those who worship him with milk and payasa as offerings? Fortunate indeed was Yashoda and gopis and the cows in Gokula who fed him with milk. They reached moksha from which no one comes back to earth. They are already in Goloka only, right? Gokula, Goloka, all same only, no? They are already there. It's not, they have, if you look at the way the gopis are, the gopas are, the gopabalas, the Yashoda, Nanda, already in bliss, the presence of the Lord. There is no complaints, no, they say, right, the ultimate thing is nothing to achieve, nowhere to go, right? Nothing to ask, right? So they are already in that state, complete fulfillment. That's why it is so blissful. Such a very, we look at it, it is a very dangerous scene, right? It's not a very blissful scene, but we experience bliss when we hear this moksha. That is because of Krishna. It is because of all who are in that state, who are completely in truth, in Sat. That Satchitananda in a form is there. And everybody, everybody's state is also the same. He has put all of them in that state. So everyone is in that Satchit Ananda. So that is why when we read even such, a great Asura coming and doing and all, it is so sweet. The cowherds could not connect the divine scent which pervaded the place and the burning body of Putana, who had now become Punita. Punita, sacred, cleansed. Thus, they just wondered as to where the perfume came and went from and went to their homes. They were not too bothered. Yeah. Nanda was then told about how a beautiful woman came into Gokula and had deceived everyone there. No one had guessed that she was an Asuri, and it was the good fortune of all of them and the grace of Narayana that protected the child from the dread calamity which might have overtaken him. They talked about it far into the night and went to sleep, still unable to explain how the child had managed to escape from the dreadful woman, and once again they offered prayers to Narayana for protecting the child. See, bhakti is so beautiful, nothing to gain, just turn everything to Narayana, everything to the Lord. Oh, Lord has somehow protected. Yeah? There's no, if we lack bhakti, that is when anxiety about future will start. They are not now anxious. Will more asuras, such people come? All those thoughts did not come. Lack of bhakti creates anxiety, thoughts about the future, all those things. Yeah, they are completely surrendered to Narayana. No, they talk about it, they wonder, and they are sleeping. They went to sleep. They did not have sleepless nights. Yeah. So that shows that simplicity. Palashriti. Anyone who listens to the story by name Putana Moksham with attention and reverence will be blessed by the good fortune of having his mind eternally set on Krishna. He will have unswerving devotion to Krishna. So, Krishna's avatara Karana has started right from the baby thing, right? Anything we listen, the mind is filled with Krishna. That's the purpose of the avatara. To bring devotion, to kindle that devotion, and to fill everyone with that love, pure love, is the purpose of Krishna avatara. So, very first Putana Moksham, the Palastuti is this. King Parikshit said, "My lord, you have told me the stories or the many avatars of Narayana. Matsya avatara was wonderful, and so were the others. And the purpose for which the Lord assumed these avatars have amazed me and filled my ears and mind with undiluted pleasure. But this avatar of the Lord, I feel, is the most beautiful of them. I have been told that listening to the stories of Krishna Avatara makes the despondency in the mind vanish, and the many desires which make a man unhappy also vanish. The desires vanish. That's the beauty. Yeah, there is higher taste. The higher taste is tasting Krishna. Whatever that one nice Aksharamanamala song is there, where Bhagavan says, Bhumanam Mamanam Purana Manam Kola Purana Manam Arunashala. He says, let my Bhumana, the Vasana for this, Bhu means we can take body, mind, Panchabhutas, all these things, And the Mamanam is the mind. All these Manam, let it go. And let the Vasana for Purana Manam, bestow. So that is what does, as simple as listening to Krishna Avatara Katha is the taste develops for that. Just listen and relish and be there. Then the taste for all other sensorial indulgence drop off automatically. That's what comes here. See? You want to say something? I thought you started.
No, I came in the middle, Bala. So too much confusion. You continue. It is going well.
Yeah, so desires also vanish. Despondency takes out the tamas. and it takes maybe a flight to direct sattva. And the many desires which make a man unhappy also vanish. Because I remember, you all know many who were in the Narayaniam group. Rajini, she's the guru for the teaching Narayana chant, right? So she used to tell this Narayaniam has something, when the mind is so low, I just start chanting one dashakam of Narayaniam. By the time I finish Guru Pavanapure, I know the mind is now up. That's how she says. That's how Krishna Avatara is. Just looking at his form, just remembering his form can and many desires which make a man unhappy also vanish. The mind becomes cleansed of all impure thoughts. The mind thinks only of the Lord, and it wants only the company of the devotees of Narayana. Please have the goodness to fill the last few days of my life with infinite pleasure of listening to the praises of Krishna. Parikshit is telling this, yeah, okay. And about the incidents in Gokula, which thrilled all the men who were fortunate to have been with him. Shuka continued the narration of Krishna. This is what is Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha. Yeah. So as the Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam, from Shukhamukha, it is just dropping. It is not even, and only a Rasika. He is calling, right? Muhuraho, drink, drink, drink. Who all? Rasika, Guvi Bhavukaha, all those who have that, So very beautifully, Vedavyasa prepares, with all 9 cantos, so that prepares the Rasikas and he brings them here. And he gives this, yes, the next one, Shakatasura and Trinavarta. Anybody else? If Aarti can read, or anybody else? Aarti, no, that we don't hear any noise.
No, it's okay.
Read.
The little son of Nanda and Yashoda was fast growing up. He was now 3 months old and he had just learnt how to turn over on his belly. There was great joy in the heart of Yashoda when she saw her son lying on his stomach and smiling at her. The day happened to be the Janma Nakshatra of the child, and so she decided to have a great celebration. She had invited all the people in Gokula, and the large group of men and women went to the banks of the Yamuna. In the midst of music and dancing and the chanting of mantras by the Brahmins, the child was given a bath and gifts were given away to everyone who had come. Yashoda looked at her son, found that he looked tired out and sleepy because of the bath and excitement of the day. She therefore placed him in a cradle which was placed under the cart in which they had come to the river bank. He looked tired and sleepy because of the bath and excitement of the day. She therefore placed him in a cradle which was placed under the cart.
I think the cloth one.
Yeah.
And she tied it under the cart and she put him there.
So she was sitting with all her friends and did not notice that the child had got up after a while. He cried and no one paid any attention to him. He became very angry and with his little legs more tender than the creeper clinging to a tree, he kicked the cart where under he was placed. There was a great noise and the people saw that the cart had fallen far away as though it had been flung away. All the vessels and pots which had been placed in it had been either broken or crushed, and the wheel had come off the cart. The cart had fallen on its side. No one knew what had happened. Some of the little boys who had been there said that the child had kicked the cart and this was the result. The people did not know how it could be possible for such a small child to perform such a feat. They thought for a while and the mother gathered the child in her arms, thanking God that nothing had happened. No one knew that Kamsa's henchman was an asura by name Shakata. He had come to Gokula and he had entered the wheel of the cart with the intention of running away with the child and later killing it. The Lord knew what he was up to, and with a kick of his sacred foot, he killed the Asura, and no one knew what had happened.
Unbelievable, right? A small baby's feet. How will it be? Kicked the cart, it seems, and all this happened. And in Narayaniam again, Bhattadri says the same thing, and with a little, there are little changes from Bhagavatam. Okay, here it is said the cart falls, right? In Narayaniam, Bhattadri says so beautiful. That same way, with that cradle, he's hanging down, and the Gopabalas are playing around. Yeah, and this baby Krishna knows that this is an asura, so he kicks. What happens is the cart becomes dust and it falls down. And so rajas is the word he uses. It becomes the so dust. So for an onlooker, a cart was there, now it is not there. And Krishna is down. So this he very beautifully says. So when the feet of the Lord, touches anything, then and he says even the rajas, even the cart actually kind of disappears, that even rajas could not be found. I should get that. Even the rajas, the dust of the cart cannot be traced. So much with just one kick of the baby, the cart disappears like that. That is what he says. And then he says, so the rajas, when the feet of the Lord touches anything, the rajas goes away. Again, coming back like the tamas earlier, we say, now he says even the rajas, it just disappears. So there is no room for any rajas here means all the ego driven actions. Is rajoguna, right? So all the ego driven actions and all just disappears, says Bhattadri. So it is very beautiful. So for the Gopabalas are with their jaws, what do they say? Dropped. They are looking like that. Oh my God, what happened? Then they all come and they say, now this is what happened. But they say this is what happened. The child kicked but nobody believes. How is it possible? But the cart is not there. That's all. This is the beauty of Shakatasura.
Initially, all the Chitta Shuddhi has happened through the 9 chapters. And now, first with Putana, the Vasanas have been sucked out. And as the Vasanas are sucked out, all the objects of the consciousness are getting destroyed. That is, the parts are getting destroyed to reach that oneness. How I'm. Continue. Once Yashoda, after bathing her son, sat in the courtyard with the child on her lap. All on a sudden, she found that the child was very heavy. She did not know why, and thinking that it was just her imagination, she tried to forget it. But the weight became more and more, and finally, finding it unbearable, she placed the child on the ground. Seeing that he was sleeping, she went inside several duties of the household. Another of Kamsa's myrmidons, Trinavarta by name, had come to Gokula to kill the newborn child. Ever since Putana died, they must all have come to the conclusion that the danger to their king lay in Gokula in the form of dark-skinned child, which was the darling of everyone. Trinavarta took the form of a whirlwind. Everyone in Gokula was suddenly overpowered by the fury of the sudden blast. There was so much power in the current and so much of dust that no one was able to see anything. They had to close their eyes and hold on to something firm lest they should be swept off their feet. The 8 quarters were resounding with the noise of the whirlwind, and there was darkness everywhere. People were rushing here and there in panic. Suddenly, the fury of the wind abated. They could now open their eyes. Yashoda, who rushed to the courtyard to take her child, could not find it. She called out to the others, and they all looked everywhere for the child and could not find it. Stones and dust were falling from the sky incessantly, blinding them off and on, and still the search went on for the child, which could not be found. The entire Gokula was plunged in woe since their dear beloved child was nowhere to be seen. Trinavarta, in the meantime, had carried the child far away, high in the sky. His aim was to rise as high as he could and then to dash the child to the ground and thus kill it. The child, however, had become very heavy, so heavy that he found it impossible to lift the child. He tried to drop it, but he could not. The child caught his neck between his 2 little hands, and Trinavarta found himself choking. It seemed to him as though a huge rock had been tied to his neck and that it was throttling him. He could let his breath come only in great gasps, and even that stopped after a while. Trinavarta was dead. When the fury of the whirlwind had abated, the people of Gokula saw the huge form of the Asura fall down. In his arms, they found the child. They took the child, which was clinging to the immense chest of the dead Asura, and gave it to Yashoda. No one could understand how it happened, how the child escaped death at the hands of one who evidently was an Asura. In their joy at getting him back, no one paid much attention to the fact that this young child had killed the Asura. They spoke to themselves and said, "Those who wish evil to others are destroyed. They die because of their own evil nature." Someone else said, "It is fortunate that Narayana looks kindly on us and ours, or else how could the child have lived?" A third man said, "Nanda has performed so many good actions. He has spent so much wealth on charity, and he is such a good man that God is good to him."
How clearly it is seen that what thoughts we get, he drives it. The Maya, his, it is.
It's all somewhere related to one's efforts. It is fortunate that Narayana is looking kindly on us. And how could the child live?
Yeah.
Nanda has performed so many good actions, and that is why God is being kind to him. In a way, yeah, these are beautiful thoughts. But what they are forgetting to see is Krishna is right there and he is doing it. Right here, not somewhere. From somewhere, he is not doing it. He is right here and he is the one who is doing it.
That's one story that I remember. Amarendra Prabhu, he talks. There are a lot of many years back I listened to this. It was very rasika, no? So it's a very rasapurvik story. I don't know if it has any Puranic evidence or anything. All that I don't know, but it is very nice story. Okay. So this Krishna, he ensures that the people of Gokula do not see him as God. Okay, he does not want to be treated like that Vaikuntapati. They say, right? Always in Vaikuntha, the rishis will be telling Purusha Shukta, Brahma is there, all the devas are there, he is always glorified, worshipped. Krishna doesn't want. So, from where did he get this? So, a nice link he was giving. So first, in the first thing that happens is in Narsimha Avatara. In Narsimha Avatara, he after the Hiranyakashipu Vadam and all that, Narsimha with so much love takes Prahlada and keeps him in his on his thighs, right, and looks at Prahlada. Prahlada with so much of love, so much of love for his father. Like, he's looking at Narsimha like a father. That's how Bhagavatam says, right? Like a cub looking at a lion. There is no fear at all. Yeah? And then, though Narsimha has so much love, Narsimha is wondering, who this little boy, has so much love, and he is receiving from me that so much of that fatherly affection. He's feeling that Vatsalya. I am now being the Lord, and I am, making him feel that Vatsalya. I want to feel the Vatsalya like this. That seed of desire comes in him, it seems. So, in Rama Avatara, he feels that Vatsalya from Dasharatha. He ensures that he gets a father who gives so much of that fatherly love to him. So in Rama Avatara, as he is, going around and playing and all that, he was a Maryada Purushottam right from the beginning. So nobody considered him like, equal friend who they can fight and do all that. When he comes, everyone would say namaskar and fall at his feet, and then only, it was all only a formality. So he will think even Guha would, for everybody, right? Whoever he considered as friend also, they will look at him only as a lord. So this Rama thought, I want to play like friend. I don't want to be treated like a lord. These people always come for even same age group, they come and they. So next Avatara, in Krishna Avatara, he decides, no, they will treat me only as a friend. So they actually later, Bhagavatam also, very beautiful scenes come where the Gopas and all fight with Krishna, just like, and bullying Krishna. There are 2-3 scenes where Krishna is bullied. So he wanted that kind of so he used his Maya potency to cover that Paramatmatva. In Krishna Avatara especially, and even in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they say, in Rama Avatara, only 1 or 2 times he shows his Paramatma, he is Paramatma. But in Krishna Avatara, later, lot of things he does. As a child, he is continuously showing he is the Paramatma, he is the Lord. And he is immediately putting that screen of Maya, so that they don't put the attention, they are taken aback, right? They are taken aback every time this moksha happens. All the Gokul, they are, even Govardhanagiri, we will see everywhere, they are taken aback. They are, so that somewhere they know, that he is Paramatma. But in the interacting level, he becomes like a child. That's the beauty.
I can't help this. One is the bhakti to Lord Krishna, looking at his Leela, remembering his stories constantly. So that is, it brings up so much bhavana. When you listen, the sweetness of, that little Krishna, that baby Krishna doing all of this, there is a certain sweetness that is so beautiful that bhavana cleanses. Does some beautiful cleansing. That is how Vedavyasa has so beautifully put together this whole Srimad Bhagavatam in such a way. At another level, if you look at it, I cannot, but for me, the wisdom of these sages, these seers, this for the benefit of the people, how beautifully they envisage. At one level, it is just the sweetness of this baby Krishna and his Leela. At another level, it is a journey of a seeker. A journey of a seeker and his relationship with the divine. When the divine is born, when the Jiva is born, the divine is born but is caged. We don't know that the divine is there, looking outwards, going through the difficult river of samsara, that crossing that river samsara, right? And as we go through that, one demon after another is being destroyed, which is our inner journey, letting go of our mental agitations, letting go of our, and through all of this, who is doing it? It is Krishna who is doing it from within us. Bhagavan. It is a journey of a seeker to finally be one with Bhagavan. It is, we can relate to so many things if we look at it, like Trinavarta, kicking it out, destroy, even Hanuman destroyed it. It could be like a baggage we carry from past memories and things. Kick them out. I don't know, maybe this should be full of bhakti. I keep bringing this in. I keep wondering if I should bring this. If
No,
we
there is
like to
one,
go in
this also,
bhakti, we
no?
will go in
Purtana,
bhakti only.
both flavors go hand in hand, right?
Yeah.
Purtana brothers or something, right? Aghasura and later. So Agha means sin, and so we can
Yeah.
derive a lot of symbolism. They go hand in hand, right? Because
Lot of symbolisms we can all relate to, So, and the beauty will be whenever something, when we are going through this Krishna Leela like this, whenever some memory comes up, we look at it as one of these asuras who have come to veil Bhagwan within us. And then we know that the Krishna is destroying it within me, destroying it within me.
And another, as Aarti is telling this, that is coming up is Kama, Krodha, Lobha. What are the asuras? These are the ones, right? For someone where Krishna is in the mind, they have given, yes, it is, we don't give, no, I don't know all these words. But so this, say we can say a bhakti, in the bhakti, there is no fear. They say, right? Why fear when I am here? Even a little, okay, only so much of japa I do. Little only. Like what? Like Krishna baby. A baby only is born. Not a great bhakta who is able to see Bhagavan everywhere, in that love always. That and all is not there. Little bit of some little thing is there. Even then, it is that Lord who will ensure all these things are pushed out. He will ensure that those that are not favorable for a seeker, to walk towards him, the Lord ensures. Just hold on to the Lord. Just hold on. That's it. Very beautifully today was Bhagavad Darshanam. Swami was telling. There are many, from different facets, he says, what is this charanam? Bhagavat charanam. Charanam. So in this context, this goes with this context. So someone asked Swami, a child asked Swami, it seems, what is it you say, hold on to Bhagavan feet, hold on. Where will I find his feet? Right? It is, where will I find his feet? So Krishna Swami is saying, the nama japa you do, one small little, a reading Bhagavad Gita you do, a little of meditation you do, the little space of mind that you give at the very beginner sadhaka level, all these are his feet only. You are giving space for the energy, the will to turn the mind. I may not be successful. I will not be successful in the beginning, but the will to turn the mind to the Lord. Now, enough of this. I clearly know this is all some chapadi vidya, like what Ramana Bhagavan says. Some maya, something. Yeah? And somewhere there is that will to turn to the truth, and start walking. Then you know that Bhagavan's feet is at your head. He has touched you. And slowly, every little spiritual sadhana that you take is his feet. So even that putta feet of the Lord can make the entire rajas disappear. That's the thing. That's the strength with which we hold on in this spiritual sadhana. Yeah, it was very beautiful. I thought, oh wow, that's we need such, because somewhere when we hear about the Bhakta Kathas and all, what kind of when this prema, this surrender, this, and we know our limitations, right, where we are. When such things are given, okay, yes. So that's what maybe Krishna is telling here also. Little bit, see, as a baby also, I am there. Baby bhakti only you have, but that's okay. As a baby, I am there to take out all that will come as an obstacle between you and me. That's the assurance Lord is showing through all. There's one way.
That innocent love. That innocent love actually has lot of shraddha. He will take care. That is like Prahalada. There's no confusion. There's nothing. He will take care. But
No
to get
doubt.
there, we have to go through this churn, this, whatever is there. That Prahalada to us was a child, but he was an ancient jiva who had already, in his womb only so much had been done by Narada, isn't it? So, what are all the things? What Putana, the false nourishment, we think we run behind the world, we think the happiness is in the world, this desire fulfilled, that desire fulfilled, this, that, all that we think that will not, we think that is nourishing us. But it is actually poisonous for us. It increases our vasanas, it keeps putting more and more seeds within us. But somewhere that Putana went after Krishna, no? Somewhere that seed was there going to look for Krishna. Now that destroyed everything. That is all, that little turning to him. That Devi Guna, that little turning to him. The Devas also do that, right? All the time they will be first everything, then they will win against the Asuras, and then they will start enjoying pleasures. They will relax, they will become complacent. And then again Asuric qualities will come, overpower them, because they have become weak because of indulging in all the pleasures again. They become weak. Asuric qualities overpower them. Then again they'll be like, oh Bhagwan, please. This is also a cycle, but one by one, steadily we hold his hand and we keep moving without giving into the false pleasures, false nourishments, into that rajas of doership, maybe. Welcome. Anything else coming to anybody? Oh, welcome.
So, Bala, as you said, Nochur Swami ji, he in one lecture, he said that no doubt Ramana Bhagwan or Sri Ramakrishna, all they are spiritual giants. No doubt about that. They are like tsunamis, he said.
Mm.
But we can also be a small bubble of what? Bubble.
Mm.
We can be that, and because both tsunami and that bubble both contain water only.
Oh.
That is said. And he said most in Ramana Ashram, most of the people who got enlightened who used to work in the kitchen. There was
Mm.
there was a sambar boiling, rice getting cooked, and there they got enlightened. So we should, he gave so much of hope, that never feel that, oh, they are such spiritual giants, how can I even think of it? He said, no, we can be small bubbles,
Mm.
and yeah. So it was really very hope giving,
Yes, yes. That's the power of their words, right? We feel hopeful. Otherwise,
Yes,
sometimes we think, oh, we know what do you
yes.
say, all the weaknesses and all that, right? That's the thing. So Krishna is also showing us here, little bit, okay, you did. My feet is there. I will ensure I will kick your limitations, he is saying. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Gita's his promise. Like a child believing the father or mother, as a baby, the kind of belief, the trust that the child has is, all of us have been like that only, Then this intellect came, all unnecessary information came, then that innocent, like what Aarti was saying, that innocence, yeah, innocence doesn't mean in a very childish way that I'm saying, but then, that pure trust we
Yeah, the
lose because of
purity.
purity. That's why Putana becomes Punita, we read there. The purity, the touch of the Lord makes one pure, not to have that ego.
So that kind of innocent Shraddha comes from absolute lack of doubt.
Yeah.
Total, there is no surrender. The surrender beyond the surrender, beyond the action.
One devotee of Ramana Bhagavan, I don't remember his name. He was a very little boy in studying in a Gurukulam. Okay. He once happens to come to the Arunachala hill where I think Bhagavan was in Skandashram or something. So he gets the vision of, he sees Bhagavan there. Okay. That darshan, that there's no doubt that as a small boy, he takes him as Shiva. He thinks that it is Arunachaleshwara who is sitting there. There is no doubt that is how that boy, and then that boy starts coming to the Skandashram every day to be in Bhagavan's presence. And then he looks like he had nobody else, and then he even leaves that, and he was around Bhagavan his whole life. Okay, and Bhagavan says in one, he says, pointing out to his name, I'm forgetting his name, I don't know. I am scared of two people. One is this man, okay, and another is another party, one other Ajji, okay, because they both do not ask anything. So whatever they ask, I have to give. So one day it happens that this boy was sitting. So he looked like a very simpleton from outside, like that Nelikai. What is that? That story of Adi Shankara, right? Like that gooseberry,
Hastamalaka.
Hatta. So, like that, this boy looked like very simpleton from outside. Okay. But there are there is one beautiful Tamil um, poem or whatever that he has only written, which is given in the Periya Puranam. So, one day he was sitting there and he was listening to a lot of some Vedanta talk, something and all, and then they all go away. And then he asks Bhagavan, they were talking about Atma Sakshatkara. So he goes to Bhagavan, he asks, Bhagavane, Ellaro Atma Sakshatkaram. They talk about Atma Sakshatkara. What is it? He doesn't even ask, give me. This, what is it? And Bhagavan, it seems, he just did one pottu, like this, on his head. And he says, Kudutte unak Atma Sakshatkara. Oh, I gave you Atma Sakshatkara. Go. Okay. So he must have been all it. So this man, he was a very young boy, maybe. He goes around jumping and telling everybody, you know what Bhagavan gave me? He gave me a kottu on my head. He was not bothered about Atma Sakshatkara. The touch of his Shiva on his head was more joyful for him. That is that is, no individuality at all. And they are already realized beings. They don't need. So that is the highest devotion. Bhagavan has such very so, Tvam akinchana gocharam, says Kunti, right, to Krishna. You are the one, you are seen only by those who do not possess anything, which means that there's absolutely nothing in them, like that flute. You just have to drop everything. That's all it is. That's nothing to gain. We've gained enough. Too much. And that party also, Lala Mudaliyar party, I think the last uh, her last day, yeah. She used to go and feed Bhagwan, food every day when he was in Skandashram. Then after Ramanashram and all came, and then they started cooking and all. Even those days, Bhagwan used to ensure that she brings something and he used to take from her. And because for him, mother figure, they all are motherhood. That is how he looked at that. And her last day, it's very, if we read those devotees, simple devotees, but great giants. They're giants, actually. So she could not go to meet Bhagwan. And so she was lying there, and, every time he would wait for her. So she was in her mind constantly thinking about Bhagwan. And so somebody tells her that, Bhagwan has not eaten today. Simply for the. So she was almost passing, looks like she opens her eyes and then Bhagwan, she looks up like that. And I said, no, 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 no. He ate, he's okay. Then she closed her eyes and then she leaves her body with a smile. The one who witnessed that, she writes that, with so much, her face was shining in joy. Way to die, as Bhagavatam says. So that simple bhakti, no doubt at all. That is true bhakti. No doubt. No adveshta, the very first lakshana of a bhakta that Krishna says, no, in Bhagavad Gita.
Adveshta means?
Hmm?
Adveshta means? Meaning of Adveshta?
No dvesha, no hatred at all. Hatred looks like a very extreme word, but no dislike.
No
also we can say, no?
aversions.
Ah,
No
no aversion.
aversions. Like raga dvesha, no?
Yeah, it's the same word, correct. Dvesha, no? Dveshta.
No aversions.
Just filled, bundle of love, that's all.
Everything is joyful. His nature is joy. His nature is love. His nature is compassion. When there is adveshta, when will that be? When there is adveshta, that means that is there is no aversion. Then what is there? The opposite of that, only joy, compassion, love. Only these are there, which is all just him. In everything, in everybody. Basically, in so then that is there is nothing other than him, right? If in everything there is only joy, if in everything, everybody, there is only joy, there is only compassion, it is a projection of the state in here. So then it is just Ishavasyam Evatam Sarvam. That's all.
That Ishavasya Upanishad, that one beautiful note is Yastu Sarvani Bhutani Atmanyevanu Pashyati. The one who sees all as one Atman, Anupashyati, continuously, no gap. Yastu Sarvani Bhutani Atmanyevanu Pashyati Tatra ko moha ka shokaha. Where is moha, where is shoka? Ekatvam Anupashyati. It's all Eka, one. My Lord alone is nothing else, nobody else. It's a great mantra. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar's mantra. He says that, my Father alone exists. Nothing else, nobody else. So anything other comes up, tell this. You will see even that is Bhagavan only. It loses its grip. It loses its ground. That's a beautiful. Nothing else, nobody else. That is how they say, right? That Swami Vivekananda, even Rama, many times Swami says that. It's a beautiful thing for us also when we go through some bodily pain and all that. Looking at it as a, dance of Divine Mother. It is her expression. We will feel a deep ecstasy there. It is true. Rishis are giving us such a royal path. We just have to take it with no doubt and put it to practice in our lives. Then we will see what is truth. Swami Vivekananda says that, I see this entire plague as the dance of Ma Kali. At one moment he rolls on the ground and cries out of pain, looking at the pain that people are going through. It is that compassion that is overflowing there. And after some time, he's sitting so peaceful. People are so confused. They ask what? Yes, there is some ecstasy in this deep pain also, because that is also divine. We cannot understand all this. When put to practice, when we go through some pain, it is first maybe a little easy to do it in bodily pain. I don't know. or a very slight mental pain, whatever. It is you. Amma, you are showing yourself. Tell that and see what happens.
Comes, no? Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Bhranti Rupena Sarva Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha. So all the delusions of the mind is also you.
Hmm.
Adi Anta Rahite Devi. Adi Shakti Maheshwari. No beginning, no ending.
No, Adyanta Rahite. Oh, Adda Adyanta.
Adi Anta Rahite Devi. You don't have any. That's in the Lakshmi Ashtakam.
Lakshmi, no? Yeah.
Adyanta Rahite
Right,
Devi.
Devi.
Shakti
Always stand like
Maheshwari.
that. Now when you split it, then I...
Yogagne Yoga Sambhute. That yoga.
Yogagni, the knower of yoga.
Knower of yoga.
Yes,
Yoga
Sambhute.
Sambhute, Yoga Sambhute Mahalakshmi. So, the delusion also at that point in time, it is her. According to the what is she? She is Icha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti. So Icha is also hers. Jnana and Kriya happened. When we take it away, we can come back again to our equilibrium quickly. That moment has passed. Prakriti, Devi, Shakti has acted. It's over. Now this, every moment to moment, every moment is divine. Whether we look at it as bad, it is a, see, day is good, night is good. Can we say summer is good, winter is good, carnivorous animals are good, herbivorous animals are good? Nothing, no, everything just is. Justice. Like that delusion is also her. Bhranti Rupena, Trishna Rupena. Divinize. I am not behind this desire. It is up to you. No I in that. It's all her acting. But again, the I is not there.
Naha, Tvam.
Naham.
Ramakrishna's.
Naham Karta, Hari Karta.
Yeah. Aham Karta, Hari Karta, Naham. I don't exist. You alone is. I don't exist. This I thought is the only imaginary link. Power of the Lord, something is happening. The Lord is there.
If you observe very carefully, very subtly, even before everything translates into a thought or everything, that example of that ocean and the wave arising, no? If you just observe, you will see that wave has arisen. Whatever you say, I think I didn't use the right tense there. Don't worry. Okay, the wave has
Risen, correct only. It's okay.
arisen.
He understood.
Okay, yeah. And then the moment you become aware of that, it's in that heart only, heart center. You just feel it arise. And then you just observe, you become aware of that, it falls. It falls. If you don't, then it gets converted again into thoughts and actions.
The dance continues until it falls. That is why the last name says Sahasranama, we say, right? Shiva Shakti Rupinyai Namah. So this Shakti is dancing only to go to Shiva. That's this example of Kanakama we saw in Gita class. The top is rotating only to stop. This entire creation or dance is there is only to finally become one with that stillness or whatever, to know the truth, to go back home. The journey is only to go back home. So the earlier we see it as the Shaktis taking us together, then there is no I, nothing. It's all the dance of Shakti to go to Shiva. Then you're already in Shiva. Yeah, I think 34. From Krishna to Shiva, we've come to. Oh, Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om. Thank you.